guys, it's Dana and it's Tuesday, so we're going to talk about money. Specifically, we're going to talk about saving $1,000. As you know, I follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and the very first baby step to building wealth and getting out of debt is to have a starter or a baby emergency fund of $1,000. And $1,000 can seem like a lot of money when you are starting with nothing. When Jim and I first set up our baby emergency fund, our baby step one, we timed it so it was just when we got our tax return. So our tax return with 4 children was more than $1,000. So we took $1,000 from our tax return and we put it in our savings account. So obviously, if it's not tax return time, that is not going to work for you. Or if your tax return is less than $1,000, you could still use a part of it to help build that emergency fund. But if it's not that time of year, then how do you build your $1,000 emergency fund? Well, the first way is to sell stuff. If you have a car that you could sell and get some money back from it and then buy a beater car, that might be a good option. If you have, say, a car that's worth $15,000 and maybe you only owe $10,000 on it, you might want to sell that car, list it on Craigslist, get your $5,000 back from that deal, and then take $1,000 of it and put it in your emergency fund. And then that could get you started. If you don't have a car that you could sell or something big like that, maybe you have something else around the house that you could sell on Craigslist or eBay. Maybe you have some furniture. I have heard that one couple sold all their furniture, their living room furniture, their dining room set, and then they were just eating on card tables. And that's an extreme way to go, but it's definitely something that you could do. You could look to sell some of your furniture perhaps, or you could look to sell some other things around the house. Then, of course, there is the route of making more money. You could drive with Uber. You could pick up some other extra jobs. If you want to deliver pizza, you can try to find some other odd jobs, maybe babysitting. Maybe you can take some extra kids into your home to make some extra money to help you earn more, so that way you can build up that emergency fund. And then after your emergency fund's in place, of course, you can also use some of that extra money if you wanted to continue that side job to help to pay off all of your debt. If you have any stocks or bonds laying around, now would be the time to get rid of them and cash them out and get the money. Sell the stock, cash in the bonds, get the money, and then you can put that into your savings account or then put that towards your debt. And of course, stop eating out. Don't do anything extra. Pack your lunch if you're going to work. Pack your kids' lunch so that they're not purchasing lunch at school. And then you can kind of start to pull some of that money out of your income to build up your savings account. You might be able to even do it pretty fast when you cut back on all of those extra things you've been doing: shopping, eating out, movies. Just try not to do anything extra. Try to stay home. If you try to just stay home for a month maybe and not go anywhere, you might be able to gather up enough money to build up that $1,000 in your savings account. Now remember, your emergency fund is not to be spent. That means once you build up that $1,000 in your emergency fund in your savings account, don't spend it. Don't spend it. Don't use it. Leave it there unless you have an emergency. So that's it. That's some tips to help you save $1,000 in your savings account. I hope you are able to do so quickly. But if not, just be patient, one day at a time, and you can do it. Any kind of debt, consumer debt, that means car debt. If you have a car payment, you have debt. If you have a school loan, you have debt. And the best way to build wealth is to not have any payments of any kind.